Hey, Shiny Zubat just subscribed.
Thank you for resubbing. That's 6 months. You have been subbed to me for half a year. And don't, I didn't get a chance to mention this. I was gonna wait until how my life as an artist is doing, but we'll get to it. I saw what you guys did earlier today. Thank you.
What happened?
Shiny Zubats and Squirrel Horde did a thing.
Oh, a thing we can mention on stream, or just a thing that will? Okay. Hey, how's your life as a full-time artist going, Kyle?
Well, it was a really stressful day for the most part, but then my Patreon jumped up by a fuck ton.
Oh, really?
And part of that was an existing Patreon patron, but then there's a new patron who, I'll be announcing him out there, and there's someone named. Let me see if I can pronounce this right.
Yeah.
Twaisley.
Tweasley?
Twaisley.
That's a new one.
They know who it is.
Oh, okay, good.
So thank you very much, guys. And yeah, my Patreon is now over $150 a month, and that's really cool.
That is excellent. Congratulations.
Yeah. A look behind the curtain about how I do my budgeting is I have kind of thresholds, and so even though I had been making over $100 on Patreon for a while, I still really only kind of treated it as 115 because right. Just in case there's a dip or whatever, I was counting on less than that, but this bumps it up to another threshold. So that's really cool.
Yeah, that's actually a thing I would love to hear you just kind of talk about, because I find it fascinating how when you quit your stable, terrible job at a bank and moved into this new life, you diversified your investments very well, and I'd love to hear you just kind of break that down.
Yeah. So described it as I get my income from a whole bunch of different sources. Twitch and the three main ones. It was originally two main ones, but now it's definitely three. It was commissions, Patreon, and now Twitch is starting to give Patreon a not a run for its money per se, but it's starting to compete, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. And on top of that, there's other little things, I get a few dollars here and there from my podcast. It's not anything to really count on right now, but it is a number that is going up. I can't for the love of me remember anything else I do that gives me money, but
let's see, you've also mentioned getting started with YouTube.
Oh yeah, I have poked into YouTube, which, by the way, fans of the Bats and Bones art show, those VODs are now going to be available on YouTube on their own channel. I have
I was wondering what you're going to do with that, and I'm glad you're announcing it. Go on.
Yeah. So now if you watch the Miss of Bats and Bones art show, they're now available on Twitch. But yeah, I haven't been able to make any even close to making $1 on Twitch or on YouTube yet. Their rules are kind of draconian to me, and also my research consistently has pointed to it getting increasingly draconian for people who have made it their job, people who have YouTube on their job and have had YouTube as their primary source of income are looking to diversify even more because it's starting to become less and less reliable.
Yeah, my favorite podcast streamer, whatever, the Super Best Friends, now Castle Super Beast, have almost completely abandoned. They used to be entirely a YouTube show, and they would produce content for YouTube. The gang disbanded, and each of them kind of creates their own thing now, and the kind of of the original four, they've paired up into twos, and so half of them, which would be the Flophouse, they actually, so Matt still actually is entirely produced video, you know, like edited. I don't know what's the word I'm looking for. He makes shows, and he edits them and makes them like this cool little contained piece, and he just cranks those out, so he still is full-time on YouTube, but all the rest of the gang have gone off to other things. See, Pat and Wooly both switched entirely to Twitch. And then they each have their own channel, and they have like a third channel specifically for their podcast, which is also sold as a podcast with advertisements. And like Pat doesn't do it, but Wooly does after he does his Twitch stuff, throws it on YouTube as like additional archival sort of stuff. But like they've been in this business for like over a decade, and just said, nah, YouTube, no. Other stuff is better than YouTube now.
To say that, like, as a how should I say, as a service rather than a platform to make your money, I'd say YouTube still like is very important. It is kind of the best video archival thing we have, but as far as quote making YouTube your job, it's becoming pretty more pretty clearly like you need to find other ways to monetize your content than specifically ad revenue. Sponsorships are a thing, but like Patreon's a big one, obviously. And Patreon's a company, and it will eventually I'm sure eventually it will shit itself. But.
About that, no. They seem to be fine, but I see some people grumbling about it. I don't know. I haven't followed the politics on Patreon too closely. I'm thinking about getting a coffee for me, and that way, if folks want to support us generally, they can support you on Patreon and me on Coffee, and we can kind of like compare notes.
I've heard decent things about Ko-fi as well.
Yeah, so I might set that up sometime soon, and we'll see how it goes. And I kind of like that because it's like I would like to take a lot of the video game stuff I've done and put it on. You and I have talked about like a Several Crows gaming channel, which would be fun. And I would like to take a lot of the clips that and the good moments from this, and put those kind of like on an Ironoki specific sort of like channel. So like that's kind of like where I'm planning, like gaming to the gaming pile and art stuff to my channel. But yeah. I don't like. I say fuck a lot. I am on record for loving profanity. I love profanity officially.
Here's the real thing with that is not only do I say fuck a lot, I don't intend on stopping anytime soon for any amount of money.
Especially for the pittance you can get from like YouTube monetization.
Yeah, and so like don't get me wrong, I still am interested in YouTube as sort of a community building platform, but as for a revenue stream, I'm not holding my breath. But yeah, commissions are a big one, and then of course, like every once in a while, just like odd job gig economy things, like I have more time to do just weird hobby shit, and
you mean like putting together papercraft animation for another channel you found that's really cool and nice to you?
I mean,
because I didn't have time for that, but I did it anyway.
Kind of. I mean, like, if I was, I mean, like, I have, Johnny, like, I cat-sitted for you once, and you did pay me cat-sitting wages for that.
I did pay you cat-sitting
I wouldn't have
wages.
had time or energy to cat-sit for someone while working full-time.
It's kind of a game of, like, yeah, I have a really great career, and I've got some dollars, and my very good friend right there is trying to be an artist for like, full-time, so I'm just like, I need a thing. Is this a thing that I can pay Kyle to do? And so I'm kind of always looking for that and giving Kyle the question, say, hey, if you've got time, do you need a little bit of money? Because I was actually, because like even if you didn't, if you weren't able to do that, I had like 3 other friends that were capable of cat
Yeah.
sitting for me. So it's like it's not like I'm like Kyle, do this thing for me. Here's money. No.
But point is, like, that's not the only like little thing I have done that's just got me a few dollars here and there. And at the level I'm at now, like, that's something I do sometimes, and it can make up the difference.
I'm actively looking for excuses to pay money to Kyle. Joking aside, it's like what you're doing means a lot to me and to like our little community of artists, and I am dedicated to seeing you succeed at this.
And I think we have a pretty clear understanding in that, like, I don't want to rely on you, and I don't want you to give me money unless you are receiving value.
Again, this is probably a little bit more behind the curtain than we typically go,
fair.
but like we have exit plans, right?
Yeah.
Where like I'm supporting you in a bunch of ways, and we're looking at ways to just kind of like part from that as you start to get more stable on your own, grow, like not all at once, but like grow away from sort of the all the little things I do to support you. But I'm going to continue to feed you because I'll do that for anyone. It's like
Appreciate that.
It's the biggest crime in the universe that my best friend Gecko lives in California, like way the fuck down south, right? And like Gecko has a bad day and he jumps on chat and we're just like, shit sucks, fucking garbage. It's like, I am so mad that I can't just shove food in your mouth, my friend. It's the greatest injustice in the world that I can't just buy my best friend a pizza.
Yeah.
We very occasionally he'll let me just like order him a DoorDash. It's like, a pizza is coming at your mouth right now.
It's not quite the same as cooking you a meal, but it'll do. It's the best you can do at the time.